The next slide, slide number 16. To clear this up once and for all, and look, here's what I'm going to say about this. If anybody sends me an email about this, I will delete the email immediately without reading it, and you will be blacklisted. I will blacklist on the server your email address so that no message that you ever send me again will ever be seen. You will be typing it and wasting your time for no reason. I'm going to preface this slide, these next two slides, with that comment. If anybody sends me an email attempting to debunk the etymology of this word after I do these two next slides, your email, if I just get the notion that that's what you're trying to do in the email, it will be deleted immediately without me reading it any further, and your email address will be blacklisted because I do not want my time wasted with bullshit and nonsense. Don't waste my time like that. Okay, I am busy. I have things I'm actually doing. Unlike most assholes sitting at home trying to debunk an etymology. I have better things to do with my time than to write to somebody when the world is in a police state to try to debunk an etymology, which first of all is true. And I'm going to explain deeply and take some time to actually explain the reason it's true. And again, I don't care if this podcast goes for 6 or 7 hours. I told people I would extend certain podcasts since I'm using this type of a forum, that certain things that I will want to go into and explain in depth, I will take my time with. So if you have to listen to it in sections, fine. So let's look at the actual word government. The etymological roots of the word government come from Latin. The Latin verb gubernare, okay, now there was no V in classical Latin. So the sounds, the consonants that the letter V come down to us from were P and B. You could see that they're similar in the phonetic way that you actually make the sound with your lips of P, B, and V. All right? So in Latin, English words like govern, right? The V would not have been a V then, because again, there's no V in classical Latin. You would see it rendered as B or P. So just like in the word sovereign, there's no V in Latin, the sound would be a P, super, okay? And that becomes sover in the word sovereign. In the word govern, the word in Latin would be gubernare, G-U-B-E-R-N-A-R-E, gubernare. That's the infinitive form of the verb. The first person present tense is guberno. Guberno, gubernare. And again, in certain Latin texts in the modern day, you might see this rendered as governare, because the B and V are interchangeable phonetic variants of each other. So if you look up guvernare, G-U-V-E-R-N-A-R-E, in a good Latin dictionary, it will tell you that this word was rendered classically as gubernare, G-U-B-E-R-N-A-R-E. For those who have never studied Latin, they wouldn't understand any of that. I, however, have studied it pretty intensively. So the word gubernare means to control. That's uncontested, and that is where the word govern comes from. To control. To externally control someone else. To govern. So this is where we get the term gubernatorial. A gubernatorial election comes directly from the verb gubernare. Gubernatorial means related to a governor or a controller, a governor of a state. And when people elect these people who think that they're authorities, that's called a gubernatorial election, the election of a governor. The second part of government, M-E-N-T, is where the morons of the world want to hotly contest and endlessly debate the etymological root of the word meant, of the part of the word meant in any given word. Okay? Not just government. This word, this root component of a word, meant, a suffix, comes from the Latin noun mens, M-E-N-S. It's where we get the word mental from, M-E-N-T-A-L, mental. Because the word mens means mind, the psyche. Okay? So, why would they use the term mens as the suffix to mean the state of or the condition of? Every word that has the word meant at the end of it, the word meant, the suffix meant, you tack it onto something to mean the condition of or the state of. So, bereavement is the condition of bereaving something. Containment is the condition of something being contained. And you can go on and on and on with all words that end in M-E-N-T. It's the condition of or the state of. Understood? Well, why would the people who structured the English language have made the word that means the condition of or the state of based upon the Latin word mens, mentis, which is the mind? And this directly relates to another principle of natural law. The very first principle of natural law. The universe is mental. Everything in creation that exists in the universe must, by law, have existed first in mind. Mind is the root of everything that manifests from it. Everything must flow from mind. The universe flows from the mind of creation itself, from the Creator, from God, if you want to call it that. Fine. Every single condition that exists flows from a mental condition first. I'm speaking into a microphone, which is a piece of technology. This microphone had to exist as an archetypal construct in the mind of a human being before the technology ever came into manifestation. So the condition of this microphone existing is a result of a pre-existing mental condition and a mental construct that thought about the need for such a device, for the capture of the waveform that comes out of a human being's mouth when he speaks, and converting that into information that can be recorded and then played back. That happened, that state happened because it was first held in the mind. Well, a state of control can only first come about when that idea of controlling people occurs in the mind. And it is perpetuated through the control of the mind, which is exactly what the word government means. The verb to control is at the beginning, and at the end, the word mind. So you can say the state of mind that leads to control, or you can say actually controlling the mind and therefore creating the control that manifests as a result of controlling the mind. However you want to look at it, it's still valid. That is a valid etymological breakdown of the word government. And it's more clearly helps people to understand that any noun that we use that ends in ment means the condition of or the state of, because that condition or state had to first exist as a mental construct. Hence, the makers of the English language deliberately chose the noun mens as that suffix. I mean, I don't see how anybody can have such little understanding of language as to not comprehend that easily. Because people don't study language. They haven't looked into linguistics a day in their life, let alone looked into ancient languages to find out where words that we speak on a daily basis came from. So, look, personally, I don't care where else you want to go to argue this point. Don't do it in my email box. I'm not interested. I don't think I know or have an opinion that I know where this came from. I know it. I don't want to hear it anymore. Okay? You want to think that that's my belief? I don't care if that's what you think. I know where the word came from and what it means, because I know why the people who chose that suffix chose it. Because they understood that first principle of natural law, that everything that exists is a product of the mind, a manifestation of mind. So, do not send email contesting this. If I don't care if you believe that that's not the case. Go believe whatever you want. Do not put an email into my email box, because it first of all, to blacklist the email takes me literally 1 second to do. I got a script, I paste it into the script, boom, it's done. It's gone. It takes no time from me. You're not taking any time from me. You're wasting your own time doing it. Because your email will be blacklisted in a second by me, and you'll be wasting time writing emails that I'll never see. Never see. So you want to blacklist yourself from the email box, and I do read my emails. I don't have time to respond to all of them. I get like 75 to 100 emails every single day. So I can't respond to every one of those emails. I'd be doing nothing but responding to email. I occasionally will respond to one here and there. But if somebody sends me information trying to debunk the etymology of the word government, you will be blacklisted from my email forever. In 1 second. I'm not interested. I have better things to do with my time. I've wasted too much of my time already, even in this presentation, explaining this distinction. So let's move on. So slide number 17 simply puts up the word mind control on top of this picture of the Congress building to help people to understand, yes, indeed, the word government does in fact mean mind control. Let's lay this to rest once and for all. That's what it means. You have to be under mind control to believe in it.